Over the course of King Gizzard's ongoing career, they've established a few tropes amongst their growing discography, one of which being the idea of a genre album, an album written entirely in an alternative musical style to the sound that's expected of the artist in question, not as a permanent transition, but more of a one-off to explore new sonic territories. While this isn't an original concept by any means, since artists have been writing throwback albums and era-inspired records for a good while now, and they're only getting more common, what's special about their approach to this idea is the frequency at which they do this. The boys so often bring a new album written in a unique style to the table that you might believe it's getting harder to nail them back to their home genre, but they never fail to deliver a distinctly Gizzard sound on every record. In this video I'm referring to their 2019 efforts, Infest the Rat's Nest and Fishing for Fishies, as well as Polygon to Wonderland, Sketches of Brunswick East, and Murder of the Universe from 2017's Quintology. I'm not including the volumes of microtonal exploration in this video because, as much as I'd like to take a deeper look at the band's most recent work in future, they use microtones here as a means of making existing music genres sound more spicy to Western listeners, rather than them inherently forming a new genre. Anyway, on to the main points I'd like to explore. First off, what exactly is that King Gizzard sound? If you were talking to someone that wasn't a Gizzy fan and telling them about how they nonchalantly went from making jazz swingers to a prog concept album to thrash metal rockers to blues rock tunes, I'd guess their first assumption would be that their discography resembles a mixed bag with inconsistent results. Why listen to one band that sloppily jumps from one genre to another when you could listen to many diverse ones? King Gizzard dodged this by always making it clear that they are a fuzzy, 70s inspired psychedelic rock band, and they weave their DNA into every genre they touch. Take for example the track Mars for the Rich from 2019's thrash revival effort. Now this is clearly a metal song. The riff here sounds like a classic Motorhead rager, and Stu's vocals sound harsher and more Hetfield-esque than ever before. But there's something more to it. The drums are distorted and blown out, the guitars are hazy and densely layered while still keeping that classic crunch. Accompanying the chugging, we hear the band playing with stuttering high-pitched feedback that adds to the track's hellish and claustrophobic nature. Cavs even manages to pull off using motoric krautrock grooves over the track's bridges and bass solo. All of these elements combined create a package that adds a completely new spin to a genre that has unfortunately found itself running quite dry in recent years. And all of this coming from a band completely unrelated to thrash metal up until this point. Crumbling Castle, the opening track on Polygon to Wonderland, also helps to illustrate this point even further. The track opens up with an odd groovy bass riff, backed with polyrhythmic drumming. Now this is pretty standard affairs for a progressive rock project, but as the track begins to build, we see where this album really comes into its own. Those punchy, tape-saturated to the point of clipping drum fills we know and love are here in full force. The guitar layers build a noisy thickness to the sound that's so unlike the usual squeaky clean production of prog music. The song crescendos with this harsh synth pad that just gets coated with blankets of pummeling drums, rowdy guitars, and harmonica, all while Stu's vocals sit cleanly in the midst of this beautiful calamity. Before he sings the chorus one last time, and the song falls apart at its climax. The track truly feels like it's crumbling apart as it progresses, and this dense lo-fi production that is associated with King Gizzard's style just elevates this to another level, and introduces a type of sound play rarely heard in prog music. If the name of the band doesn't give it away, King Gizzard and The Lizard are an oddball bunch.
You know, you're just getting in there and you're thinking about something, and then, you know, you're kind of thinking about it as a song, and then there's this music. And, yeah.
And along with their goofy personalities comes a passion for fantastical storytelling. Recurring lyrical themes such as environmentalism, apocalypse, human ascension, cyborgs, and epic battles occurring within their music help to develop the concept of the Gizverse, a sort of continuous universe with its own timeline that links many of the tales written by Stu & Co. into one. This, as much as their sonic elements, ties into their musical fingerprint. And like those elements, the boys take them with them no matter which genre they're touching on. No album exemplifies this better, in my opinion, than Murder of the Universe.
Think I see an altered base by the tree.
Another foray into prog, but this time a lot more loose jam focused rather than massively structured like Polygon Dwanaland. This album is cut into 3 distinct stories, the likes of which are increasingly absurd. Concept albums are pretty usual for the progressive rock genre, but I doubt that Rush would have ever written a song about a failed cyborg-human hybrid that despises existence so much that he's elated for his spewing vomit jet streams just to end the universe as we know it.
Everything and nothing, life and death, murder of the universe.
There is a serious side to this storytelling though. As I said before, environmentalism is a key message in the lyrics of King Gizzard's work. Their songs warn of global warming, mass extinction, and the consequences of our impact on the planet. Blues rock tribute, Fishing for Fishies exemplifies this the best, truly fitting as there is no more bluer a subject than our inevitable demise. By stitching these ideas onto the flags of other genres, they've found a uniquely eclectic way of getting their distress signal heard by more ears. The last short point I want to make is less about how King Gizzard writes these genre-themed albums, and more about the impact it has on their normal, mixed-style output. Looking at the discography, it becomes evident that dipping their toes into all these diverse types of music has helped them to diversify their core songwriting. Albums like Gumboot Soup really highlight this. The band has opened their doors to more divergent song structures and tones to help each tune feel really unique. In exploring and breaking the boundaries of traditional psych rock, they were able to mature their sound and cherry-pick ideas from each of the many genres the boys tried their hands at. Their pre-2017 records such as Nonagon Infinity and Mind Fuzz are stellar in their own right, but branching out and not beating a dead horse has truly helped these albums stand out on their own as unique cornerstones in Gizzy history. This variety is still very much alive and kicking on their latest records too, but that's another topic for another video, and that about wraps up all I had to say on this particular topic. I hope you enjoyed this music-themed video essay type thing. I've got a lot more ideas that span across a wide variety of topics lined up, so definitely subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. I'd like to accompany each of these videos with a bit of discussion as well. So if you want to tell me what your favourite King Gizzard record is in the comments, I'll try and reply to as many as possible. Aside from that, that's all for this one. Thank you for watching.